Hi my friends, welcome back. This week we're going to talk about apples and pumpkins. So if you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, stomp your feet. If you're ready for a story, stomp your feet. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, stomp your feet. If you're ready for a story, make your hands nice and neat. If you're ready for a story, make your hands nice and neat. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, make your hands nice and neat. If you're ready for a story, take a seat. If you're ready for a story, take a seat. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, take a seat. This week, my friends, we're going to read a story called Apple Farmer Annie by Monica Wellington, read with permission from Penguin Random House Books. Apple Farmer Annie by Monica Wellington. Annie is an apple farmer. She has a big orchard of apple trees. In the fall, she picks baskets and baskets of round, ripe apples. Wow, she was hard at work. Look at all those apples. She grows many kinds of apples. She sorts and organizes them. There's yellow apples and red apples and green apples. Annie uses some of the apples to make sweet apple cider. She's using an apple press. I love apple cider. Do you? She uses others to make delicious smooth applesauce. I love applesauce. She loves baking muffins, cakes, and pies with her apples. Do you like baking? I love baking. But she saves the most beautiful ones of all to sell fresh at the market. She's gathering up her things to go to the market. She loads everything into her truck and drives to the city. Wow, look at that nice long bridge. Annie the apple farmer sets up her stand in the farmer's market. Looks like she's selling her muffins and applesauce and pies and cake and all her beautiful apples. Lots of customers come to Annie's stand. She is busy all day long. Hope she has enough. By the end of the day, she has sold everything, and she packs up to go home. Annie is tired, but happy. It feels so good to have her own apple farm. If you come to the library and check out this book, there's a recipe in the back of the book for applesauce, apple muffins, and applesauce cake. Apple Farmer Annie. Okay, my friends, this is my apple tree. Let's count how many apples are on my apple tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Way up high in the apple tree, 5 little apples smiled at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could, and down came an apple. Crunch, crunch, crunch. It was good. Okay, my friends, let's count how many apples left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Way up high in the apple tree, 4 little apples smiled at me. Okay, everybody, you can use both your hands this time and shake our tree, make pretend. And I shook that tree as hard as I could. And down came an apple. Make believe you're going to eat it. Crunch, crunch, crunch. It was good. How many apples left, my friends? 1, 2, 3. Way up high in the apple tree, 3 little apples smiled at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could, and down came an apple. Let's make pretend we're going to eat it. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Was it good? How many apples left, my friends? 1, 2. 2 way up high in the apple tree, 2 little apples smiled at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could, and down came an apple. Crunch, crunch, crunch. It was good. Way up high in the apple tree, 1 little apple smiled at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could, and down came the apple. Crunch, crunch, crunch. It was good. No red apples left, my friends. 0. We ate them all. And my last book, my friends, is called How Big Could Your Pumpkin Grow? By Wendell Miner. Read with permission from Penguin Random House Books. How big could your pumpkin grow? There's our pumpkin seed. I wonder how big it could get. At the pumpkin farm, we pick the perfect pumpkin. Some are little, some are big, and some are giant-sized. Giant pumpkin festivals are tons of fun. Will the biggest pumpkin set a world record? Wow! This one won the blue ribbon. What can you do with an enormous pumpkin? Carve it into a boat and race in the regatta. Row, row, row your pumpkin. The legendary Paul Bunyan and his big blue ox Babe were giants too. They like to think big. If they gave you giant pumpkin seeds, how big could your pumpkin grow? Maybe it could get this big. Would it rise as high as hot air balloons at the Fall Fiesta Fair? I like the frog hot air balloon the best. Which one is your favorite? Or beam as bright as the lighthouse at the beach? Look at that bright beam. Your gigantic pumpkin could glow like the skyscrapers. But watch out! Horns will honk on the bridge when it blocks traffic. Beep, 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 beep. It's blocking all the traffic. They do things big in Texas. Would your giant pumpkin be boss in a jumbo cowboy hat? Wow, look at that cowboy hat. It's big. Or a hungry monster gobbling riders on the tallest, fastest roller coaster. Boy, I would love to ride this roller coaster. Imagine if your pumpkin was too immense for hide and seek and couldn't even hide behind the Capitol Dome. Do you think the witch will find the pumpkin? Maybe. Perhaps your mighty pumpkin could grow up to be president. Hail to the chief, pumpkin for president. Would your stupendous pumpkin make a super splash atop a towering waterfall? Maybe. 3, 2, 1, blast off! Wouldn't your astronomical pumpkin smile to see a rocket zoom into space? Could the most colossal pumpkin fill the Grand Canyon? Who knows? Isn't it fun to imagine giant pumpkins everywhere you go? You never know where you might find giant monuments and giant pumpkins. Be on the lookout when you travel. Use your imagination and think big. And these are all the states that we talked about in this book. Giant pumpkins could be anywhere. How big could your pumpkin grow?